Hi guys, we're in a queue. Look who we're met. Yeah, we're just queuing up to get in now through Admiralty Gate. See what it is. Okay guys, we're just about to walk into the Peterhead prison.
It's just the nature of this place. It's so busy since we opened up. It's been unbelievable. However, although my voice will be hearing, you won't miss anything out in the tour today, okay? And once we come back, you can see the payment. The good news is I'll arrange for a half-price tour for you when you go in. And that's the reason we keep everybody in a secure group, okay? However, as I say, you're not going to miss anything out. The only difference is it's my voice as opposed to various other people as you're walking through. Okay. So, first of all, how many people are from Peterhead? See, there you go. That's good. Right, so a brief history of the prison and why it's here first of all. Way back prior to 1888, Peterhead, this used to be the Admiralty Yard. So there's big naval guns overlooking the bay. They won a contract to create a harbour of safe refuge, and then of course they realised they couldn't afford to build it. Prior to 1888, if you're convicted to hard labour in Scotland, you are sent to England to work. So somebody had a good idea, why are we sending our men to England when they could come here and do the work? They were sent from here, that's an ammunition wagon, there is a rail carriage as well to carry the prisoners, and they were sent up to Stirling Hill Quarry to break the stone that was then taken back here, and the local builders actually built the breakwater area. It was supposed to take about 25 years, it took nearly 100 years because there's 2 world wars in between the build as well. So, this is the only typical seaside. This is the only convict prison in Scotland. Convicted to hard labour, they were taken in here. The first hall you see was the first one built and the last one emptied. Filled in August 1888, then it was filled again, emptied again in 2013. So this is the bit you want to see. That's a kind of introduction. We'll head through the gate now and we'll start the tour and hopefully you'll enjoy it and walk into it. Okay, thanks very much. Where we're going next, folk, you're now are outside the prison. The area that you're looking at here is known as the general public area. But it wasn't for the public, it was for the administration team, it was for the maintenance team, so they could walk about here quite freely. Now you're through this gate, you're now in HM convict prison. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the left, go into an exercise pen first, tell you a story in there, and then we'll head into the main hall and get the real nitty-gritty of the tour. Okay, follow me along. Alright, yeah, here we come. Okay. Everybody in, yeah? Okay. These pens were built late 70s into the 80s, following the Mountbatten. Most of you will remember Lord Mountbatten, the IRA blew him up in a lifeboat, in a speedboat in Northern Ireland. Security was then intensified and these exercise pens were put up. You have to remember in Peterhead, it was A category prisoners, the worst you could get. So they couldn't allow them to exercise together for obvious reasons. So these pens were put up to allow them 30 minutes fresh air a day if they wish. Now, you might think it's not a lot of room. What you're about to see next, this is palatial in size. But the actual story, if you're doing the audio tour, is next door, but they all look the same. So, like everything else in this prison, there's always a story. Way back, when they started looking at rehabilitation, trying to help people get on the right path, one of the prisoners suggested he wanted to keep birds in here. So they allowed him to keep birds. A few weeks or months after, he then said it would be nice to have tree trunks and branches for the birds to sit in. So they allowed that in. A few weeks later, he then said it would be nice to have a set of snips to keep the branches tidy. Now I'm seeing some faces already. Yeah, you guessed it. Next door, he cut a square out, basically about that size, folded it down, through the hole, up the drain pipe, over the roof, across the courtyard you first come in, up onto the gatehouse, over the roof. He was dropped soon after, only because he hurt his ankle as he dropped down. Now, needless to say, some people's promotion prospects at that point halted. some people were moved, and the trees and the branches and the birds were all set free. So that was never to happen again. The reason behind this story is that although you try and rehabilitate the prisoners around here, most of them were well beyond repair, basically. They always had a motive behind their thoughts. So where they thought they were doing well, getting them involved with this little project, his mind was already a few months ahead and on his way out. So there you go. The motive for there is really everything that happens in a prison, and you'll see things further down, there's always a hidden agenda somewhere behind it, and you'll hear about that as we're going through. Okay, any questions about the exercise pen?
How many was in here at a time?
One at a time. Yeah, they wouldn't allow them to speak because then they could plot and all these various other things. So one at a time, 30 minutes. But they didn't often come out, to be honest with you.
So it would be just mirrors and...
It was, yeah, that and above it was in here. So, yeah. Okay, so we're going into the main hall and into the real fun. So, two things to remember. When you go in through the door, if you look to the cell 1, 2 on your left hand side, you'll see the original size of the cells. 5 foot by 7 foot by 7 foot. There's hammocks inside, and then if you go into cell 3, it moves into the 1950s. The only difference between 1888 and the 1950s is it becomes a metal bed as opposed to a hammock. Then you move to the next set of cells, you'll see they knock 2 cells into 1. But once they've done it to create more space, put more people in it. So the next cell you'll see a bunk bed. So they create a bigger space, they then put 2 people in it. But in the 80s, at the height of the trouble, there was 3 in these cells you're about to see. So you can imagine it was a powder keg, it was a recipe for disaster, and that's what happened in 1987 when a prison officer was held hostage right above you on that roof. He was held for 4 days. On the night before night, the SAS was sent in to take him out. 6 minutes later, it was all over. The SAS came in at the bottom wall. They were given a briefing. They then had a game of 5-a-sides. 6 of them went up onto the roof at the far end, came straight along the roof, dropped in. The officer was thrown up onto the roof, and 6 minutes later, the siege was over, and they're out through the back door. Now, when you go through, at the bottom of the stairs where it all happened, you will see a mannequin in full SAS kit that was sent up to us. So that's the guy standing in black with a baton at the bottom of the stairs. To the right-hand side of the halls, so to the left is 1880s, 50s and 60s. To the right is 2013. This was December 2013, this block was empty. One of the cells will be quite obvious what you look into. It was the era of the dirty protest. You'll know it when you look at it. Okay, that's all I'll say about that one. Once you go past the mannequin, if you look at the walls either side, you'll see some photographs of the walls just after the riot, and you'll see the condition it was left. Okay, and then I'll meet you up at the middle of the wall. So feel free to go in, have a look around. If you have any questions prior to coming up, give me a shout and I'll come down and answer it for you. Okay? Yeah. What's that?
Okay guys, we shall show you a few of the cells.
Right, you can actually go in now.
And it looks like we're in prison. Oh. To show you how big they are, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 long, 4 steps long.
10 feet.
10 feet. There you go, 10 feet, 4 steps. Okay, as he explained, this is what the cells look like when the prison first opened. The hammocks. And this was it in the 1950s. No change. And this was it when they took the hammocks out. Which I think was in the 1950s. And what we have here is one of the cells from the dirty protest. You can imagine what all that is all over the walls and the roof. And believe me, it smells just like that. Okay guys, and this is how when they knock the two cells together. And as I explained, when they knocked the two cells together, that's when they started putting bunk beds in. More than one prisoner per cell. And there we have, said SAS man, I believe.
Sent up by the SAS.
But I don't think he would have had a puncture when they came in. And there we have Margaret Thatcher with the SAS.
With table legs. First one was so back and beaten, actually went on rope. The second officer was held up in one of the cells until they broke through into the roof space. They had an entire roof full of slates, which meant no one could get up the outside and no one could get up the inside. That's why it went to stalemate for 4 days. But as I said, the SAS came in on the 4th night. They got a briefing just in an outhouse. It was explained how the building was set up. They then decided to have a game of 5-a-sides. They kicked about for a wee while, then they were ordered, let's go.
We'll be covered in blood and all.
Scary.
That's fine.
Okay, we're moving through point 7, I believe this is the murder cell. We'll go in just 2 seconds, we'll let everybody else come out. Word of warning, contain scenes of graphic nature, it may not be suitable for under 12s and me. We shall have a look in a second when these guys come out. This is the film set.
It's not worth nothing worse than seeing TV. Eh? It's nothing worse.
So, no dead body. And this is what they were for a riot gear.
Someone's seen a shoulder in there.
And if you look, there's somebody using the facility.
Alan.
I just got in trouble.
And that was the problem. What happened was that Peterhead was recognised that the prisoner was difficult in another prison, the central here. So this is part that we dealt with. The prison staff here are so highly trained that they were sent to Northern Ireland to give the staff there a break away from the IRA. That's the level of training that they had in here. So as I say, it was the worst day. Oh, hold on a minute. I'll tell you about him. I'll tell you right at the end. He's the end story, okay?
Alright, okay.
Yeah, the good news for you is, in the audio tour, you didn't get to ken the name. So we'll make you a bit special over here. I'll tell you how you can Google and you'll get the horror story. Okay? Is that a deal? Okay. Right. Any questions so far about what you've seen? No? Okay. Right, what we'll move until next then is we're going through into the corridor and then you're going into stop 11. Okay? The stop 11 is the laundry. When you go into the laundry, if you look to your left, you'll see 2 photographs of how it used to look. Because you'll go in and there's all these great big machines and presses and everything like that, and you'll think, wow. However, before that, it was big half barrels that they wash their clothes behind, and then next to that you'll see a photograph, basically big dryers. They used to pull them out, there was poles on them, wet clothes are put over, closed, 10-15 minutes later with the heat inside, they were bone dry. So it wasn't hours to the standard if you can see it just now. So you'll see the big washing machines, you'll see the mini tumble dryers, You'll see all that in the laundry. As you're coming back out of the laundry, if you look to the right, you'll see some photographs, and these areas are now all gone. You're going to be seeing the joiner's workshop. You're going to be seeing where they made the nets for the fishing boats and oil rigs. You'll see the tailor's workshop. You'll see the kitchen. So the photographs are all in there for you. Have a look at them. Come back out into the corridor. I'll meet you out here at that point and I'll explain points 12, 13 and 14. And then we'll be heading down into the segregation area after that. So if you have a look at the laundry first, I'll meet you in the corridor and I'll explain the next one.
It definitely looks grouchy.
Guess who keeps looking at all the valves all around the place? You were looking at all the valves.
The valve tech.
Aye, the valve tech's lying about looking at valves.
I didn't know there was no Gallagher up here.
As you can see, that's what Noel Gallagher's getting up to since he left Oasis. Antique washing machine.